So, friends, welcome to the next edition and a continuation of this subject, exteriorization of thoughts, gathered from the magnificent spiritual wisdom of Harold Walwyn Percival, the author of Thinking and Destiny. I am S.K.Rajan, representing the Pyramid Valley International, and a meditator for the last over 22 years. Thanks to Brahmashri Patriji, whom I met in July 1998, and from then on, my life has taken a complete turn for the better, and I have improved intellectually, emotionally, and spiritually too. In today's session, I am accompanied by Brahma Vidvarishta Girija Rajan, my life partner, and our daughter Purnima, past life therapist and tarot card reader. We have been seeing about what exteriorization of thoughts are and how well this could be done if we understand how effectively it has to be done by following a path of righteousness. So I continue the reading. Thoughts live and last until they are adjusted. They are powerful beings, though not as men know beings. Thoughts urge, pull, and press in on a person or set of persons who allow them to be exteriorized in an event that will affect physically the person or set of persons responsible for them. This urging and pressing by a thought can affect only those who will entertain the thought or who will allow themselves to be influenced by it. Persons who will not entertain or allow themselves to be influenced cannot be affected or induced to commit acts. The thought lives in the mental atmosphere of persons or communities and is entertained or refused audience in the hearts. When it is entertained or allowed to enter, it suggests action. And when time, condition, and place are fit, the thought issues from the brain of someone. The design in it is exteriorized, and the person or persons will do an act, which in turn will be an event in the life of the person or the community whose thought is exteriorized through that event. Events bring sensations, that is, results upon the doer in the body and the psychic atmosphere of the human. These sensations, whether they come from physical or psychic causes, are experiences of a psychic kind and are content or discontent, well being or uneasiness, delight or weariness, gladness or a heavy heart. These experiences are caused by the exteriorization of a present or a past thought of the one who has the experience.
Very well put, how a thought comes into being. That is, every person who may entertain a thought, definitely the thought has to be balanced. How it will be balanced? Only by exteriorization. Exteriorization. Only then the thought will come to balance. Otherwise, it will keep on being there. Thoughts are very powerful, fantastically powerful. We can't even imagine how powerful they are. So, with all that power, they induce a person, they press a person, they put the person into action along with the doer. So, it is a very, very powerful potential thing that we entertain, we receive and we entertain, and we have to be very, very careful in entertaining the right thoughts. So, the rightness should be there, as we have seen. And when will it exteriorize? When the situation, the time, and the place are all congenial for it to exteriorize, then only they will get the exteriorization. Otherwise, the thought may not come into being, but it will be there in the atmosphere. It will not go out. It'll find its end only when it exteriorizes. Otherwise, when it comes into being, otherwise it will not stop at all. Suppose I want to make a fan, create a fan because I want air. So when I think of it, the thought itself pushes me into the action. I go and read about how to make a fan, how to create it. So all that intelligence I gather, then I make it. Then it is exteriorized. Until it finds its exteriorization, the thought will never stop being. So it is a powerful being. So it will somehow, someday, it will come to being. So when the time and the situation and the place are suited, then only it will appear, it will manifest. So we have to wait for the result, but we should never be attached to it. That is what Percival says. Then the whole thing is very easy for us, because when we are not attached to the result, then whatever be the result, we'll take it. Because we have first of all, we never had any attachment to the result of it. So let the thoughts go. Let them make their own exteriorization by somehow coming into us, through the body. The doer of the trying self is definitely, it will be pressed to do such actions, to bring out such words which will it will make the conditions suitable for the exteriorization of that particular thought. So we have to be very, very careful, cautious and aware of our entertaining of our thoughts.
So, friends, here one thing he says is suppose some exteriorization happens, it is because of collective thought of, it might seem that we are not at all connected to it. It might just seem, suppose something happens and I happen to witness that, and it was not my thought at all, but still it appears before me, then it is actually, we have been part, is what Percival is telling, somewhere in the past. If we go to the cause, and if we find out, we might have been part of the thinking, that thought process in our past, which has come about as an exteriorization in the present. So we have been a part of it, is what he's telling. So nothing is not connected with us. Everything is connected with us. So whatever we are seeing is actually what we wanted and what we had from the beginning. We have been part of it.
Yeah,
so today,
even the feelings, they exteriorize. That's what he says.
Yes, yeah. The feelings, we have been part of the feelings. So what happens is we have put the input there. So the output is coming out now. But the thing is, the time. There's a time gap. So that's the reason we happen to think, why did I ever want to see this? Suppose something happens and you didn't really want to see it, you might think, why did I want to see it? It is not like that. You have been part of it. You have put the thought a long time back, and now it is getting exteriorized. So that's why all the masters tell that you be an observer and don't get attached to it, and don't have feelings about anything. Even if it is happiness, just be an observer and just enjoy it, but don't get too much involved in anything, whether it is happiness or sorrow. Be an observer.
So these experiences are caused by the exteriorization of a present or a past thought of the one who has the experience. A trifling event may bring on a tremendous sensation. The sensation is what counts. The event is negligible compared to the sensation. The importance of a thing or event is found in the sensation, the psychic result that it produces. Any event that will lend itself to bring about the sensation required will suffice, but the sensation must be produced. Sensations mean paying or receiving pay for acts done or left undone. They may be the means of learning, which is the mental result. If men would learn from experience, get learning from psychic results, they need not have the same experiences over again. But men will not learn from their experiences and so continue in the same round of thoughts and have the same experiences in life after life. Out of these repeated experiences is built up the psychic matter or nature or character of man with certain tendencies to criminality, selfishness, carelessness, lack of consideration for the feelings of others, or the reverse of all these. This psychic nature is expressed later in the physical body. So, people are born afflicted with certain diseases or develop them later. As thoughts enter the body and affect one of the four systems, so the elementals building out the thoughts carry with them and build out the disease which is called for by the thought. In turn, diseases are among the chief causes for sensation. They are the experiences of nearly everyone. On the other hand, events which are welcome are often a punishment in disguise, as will soon appear to those concerned, just as unwelcome events are often blessings in disguise. Such as the psychic results following the exteriorization of a thought, mental results follow from the pleasure or pain of experiences.
Yeah, it is very beautifully put that the event may happen and it may we may not even remember about that, but the pain that is been caused will be remembered for that for a very long time. That is why he says sensation remains for a long time. It is long existing, whereas the event may come and it may go. For example, in an event where a boy goes on a cycle and he falls down and he meets with an accident. That incident is over, but the pain that is caused, he gets bruised somewhere in his legs and all. So that pain will last for a long time, and he will keep on remembering that event. The event has long past gone; it is over, but he doesn't put a full stop there because of the pain. He keeps on remembering that. So the sensation, that is very important, because until he learns that sensation will be there, that is a psychic part of it. Whereas the mental part is the learning. He has to learn how I should not ride a bike, how I should be careful, where I have to have the awareness, where I was thinking something else and I was driving. So I hit a wall or a stone and I fell down. So the boy will improve his cycling abilities because he has fallen once and he has learned from it. So the learning part, it is the mental part, and the sensation part is the psychic part. That is what Percival clearly says. So we have to learn from that. Until we learn, the event keeps on repeating itself. As history repeats itself, they say, this history also repeats until we learn it. Until we learn, the exteriorization is not complete. The thought has not come to balance itself. That is what is the lesson that is taught by our great Percival.
So friends, here there's one other very important point, that is, he says that when we get too much inside the feelings part, suppose like Mrs. Girja Rajan has given us an example of a boy riding a cycle. The boy also might get over that the feelings over a period of time, but someone who's very closely connected to him might not get over the thought that he met with an accident. Like maybe his parents won't get over the thought that he met with an accident, whereas they were not directly involved at all, but they are part of the knowledge here. The message here is they were part of the exteriorization. Somewhere, sometime they had to witness this. And what happens, he says, is in the next part of what was read now was, he says that when we too much get into the feelings part too much, we actually go on to have diseases. like the diseases get exteriorized. We have so much, we are too much into those feelings, and repeatedly and life after life we keep having those feelings, and one lifetime we'll get it as diseases. So that is the reason we have to keep away from these feelings. We have to observe ourselves and keep away from it, and be an observer, and also be aware of what all we are feeling and what thoughts we are getting now and then. And that is what the message says. Like, we have to be away from all that. We have to be conscious of what we are feeling, and then slowly take the learning from those diseases as to what the disease is actually trying to convey. It's more of the psychic part than the physical part. Say, the physical exteriorization give us more of the psychic feelings, like the feelings that comes in the psychic plane. So that we have to address, and we have to take the learning from that and move on. That is what Percival says.
Yeah, exactly. It is even before the disease comes, the feelings are there. So we should address the feelings much more than anything else. So the disease can be avoided. So from feelings, we should move on to the mental arena, and then we have to learn the lessons. What lessons we have to learn, we ourselves know very well. So once we have learned, the experience will not occur again. So the feelings will not be there. So definitely the disease can be avoided. This is how we should keep ourselves, the physical body, in perfect health.
One other thing I would like to tell here is meditators have that extra bonus point where they can really be conscious of why this has come, and they, over a period of regular meditation, they will get to know why the disease has come, and that thinking comes as compared to the general the lay people who are not meditators. So they have an extra advantage here. So they will be able to come out of diseases very quickly.
Yeah, that is again the mental plane is very clear. So there we get a picture. The meditators get a picture of their feelings. So it is come out, the disease has come out to the body because of their feeling extremely about certain incidents. So we should put a stop to that, and we have to learn the lesson. So immediately the meditator is able to learn the lesson, and definitely he will avoid all the diseases that were to come into his body because of feeling excessively over an event. So definitely it is to an advantage that a person who meditates is a far mature person, so he can learn fast, he can avoid overjoyed or feeling very much depressed. All those things can be avoided very easily for him, and then move on in life in a better way. That is what meditation really gives a person. These are all the gifts or bonuses given by meditation. Yes, as Purnima has rightly put, it is a real gift for mankind.
Every event has a meaning for the one to whom it comes, even though he rarely pays attention to the call. Noetic results, that is, results in the noetic atmosphere of the human, come from the mental results which follow the psychic results of pleasure or pain from the experience of physical events. The noetic results are extracts of mental results which contain the essence of the psychic results. A thought is exteriorized until there is a balancing of it by means of its physical, psychic, mental, and noetic results. Though the doer in the body is not conscious of what goes on in the triune self, one does the acts which are the balancing when he performs his duties gladly, without attachment to their results. In the course of making the adjustment of a thought, a man has to pay his old debts and he receives compensation for what is due to him. A thought cannot be balanced without payment having been made or received and the account settled in connection with that particular thought. The payment may be made in pain, sorrow, terror, or despair, for payment is always made in psychic coin, but the psychic conditions result from physical conditions. Likewise, payment is received always in psychic coin as pleasure, well being, or serenity. Payment alone is not enough. A man must pay whether he wills or not. He will continue to pay over and over again until he learns why the payment must be made. This does not mean that he must know the one whom he wronged and where and when he became a debtor, but that he must learn how not to injure others and how not to allow others to injure him, how to be considerate of the rights and feelings of others without becoming their prey. Payment and learning alone are not enough. There must be a noetic enlightenment accomplished by the results of what he has learned from his experiences. This is usually shown by his attitude of mind towards his duties. Duties performed with willingness and understanding affect a balance of the thought of which they are an exteriorization.
Very beautifully put by Percival. Excellent knowledge that has come out, really. Very wise words. So, there are these three parts, that is the psychic part, the mental part, the four parts I can say, the physical part, and then the noetic part. See, finally comes the noetic part. So, a person, of course, he releases, he entertains the thought and it is materialized. Then when it materializes, yes, sorrows may come, joy may come. So these are the psychic part. So we receive all those things in the form of feelings, and then if it is more than, if it is not balanced, if it is not in the middle path, then if it takes the extremes, definitely we will have the effect of that. So that has to also to be faced. How do we face it? Only through diseases in the body. So that is the physical part of it. And then see, a thought has got to go through all these things. So when it comes to the physical part, through the physical part, he come to know that the feelings have been sharp, unnecessary, and unwarranted. So definitely the doer, even though he is not very much aware of the other two parts, somewhere of the triune self, he never thinks that he is one part of the triune self. Still he undergoes all these things. So he has to go through the physical pain, he has to undergo all these things and then learn. Then when he learns, then comes that noetic part, that is he gets the enlightenment. So until that time, the thought is never stopping, it goes on. So until we come to that noetic part, then when we get our enlightenment, until that time these events keep on repeating themselves like an event, then the feelings, then it comes to the body as a disease, then finally it comes to the noetic part where we understand everything through the psychic part, through the feelings only we come to know, and we will find out the cause for the disease in the body, that is the feeling portion of it. Then we come to understand the psychic region has to be rectified. So he rectifies that. So when he rectifies, the mental area, mental arena gets its lessons and it is imprinted there, so that the enlightenment dawns on him. So he leads a great life. So until that, yes, we do get our payment as well as we have to do some payments. So it is give and take is there. That is not give and take actually. It is pay for your bad deeds and get rewarded for your good deeds. That is what he means by payment and receiving payments. So we have to keep on doing this over and over again until we learn our lessons and until we are enlightened. So that is what he plainly says. So let us all take this message from Percival and pursue our path of enlightenment, do a lot of meditation and improve upon our own self and learn so many things from the events that come, they unfold themselves in front of us in our lives.
So beautifully put by Percival. I really loved this part because this is exactly very crisply put by Percival. This is nothing but the law of cause and effect. exactly what he says. So how we create our reality, he has put it so technically. So how we get too much involved in those feelings and we lose our way, and we again create destiny after destiny, and we end up here having diseases. And also he also puts here, it's not only diseases, we have other unnecessary events also happening. So all those things we happen to witness. Then as Mrs. Girija Rajan has put it beautifully, we just come to that enlightenment part. We learn our lessons, we get enlightened. So that he goes on to say that getting enlightenment part is the most important thing, not only just learning the lessons. So that part, the noetic part, is the most important thing here. So until one gets that, other things keep repeating, and the events that happens and repeat itself means that you have not got that enlightenment part. You might be thinking, I've learned the lesson, but why still some events are just repeating? Because it has not gone to the noetic part yet. We can understand from the events of your life, that your life you can understand. So you will get to know that enlightenment part has not been touched, the noetic part hasn't been touched, and you have to do more of meditation is what I feel, and you can move on beautifully with you will shortly get the enlightenment, and you can move on from that event very easily.
Yeah, that's very well put by Percival and explained by Purnima so beautifully. So, one more point I would like to add here is, how do we go about the whole life? So many events come to us. How do we do about it? Even in the times of pain, if we don't want to do something also, we have to make up our minds and gladly do that. Whatever we do, we should fully involve ourselves and then gladly do that. So some artistic way we have to do it, so that there is beauty in everything, so that we like all those things that we do. So, and then side by side we learn also. That is how we come out of all the payments and the receiving payments. The giving payments and the making payments and also receiving payments, both will be ended, and then we go to the noetic part, as Purnima has said it, and the enlightenment part. There what we do is we gladly accept everything, and even if we don't like a thing, we keep on doing it with wholeheartedness. That is what is essential. As our great Michael Singer has put it in his Surrender Experiment, the book, a great book. What even the smallest thing that he has to do, he will gladly accept, because the meanest thing that when if he has got to do, then that he will accept it gladly, and then think that the universe has given him a chance to do that. That is how he looks at things. So that is how he involves himself even in the meanest job that he has to do. Meanest means the minutest job he has to do. The odd things that we come across, we usually neglect. We don't even do such things. But he accepts even that as a very great gift from the universe and does it wholeheartedly. That is where we differ, and that is how we go into enlightenment. So that a complete surrender to himself. Then he surrenders to the entire universe and does it as a servant of the universe, as if he has been bestowed with the greatest chance in his lifetime. So we must read that book also as well. So this Percival motivates us to read so many books, I think. So it goes on like that. There is no end to learning. So we'll keep on learning.
And one other things, friends, here he has mentioned that the learning part, what do we learn from it is, we don't injure others. We treat others better. We treat others in the best possible way, as we want. How we want to be treated, we should treat the others. So that is one learning. And the other learning is, we should learn how to protect ourselves, as in we have to let others not to injure us. So that is very important. That is very, in the, I think, following paragraphs, he's given more about it. It's very important that we should not let others injure us. That is also very important, because we are as important as the others, because we are all one. We are all one.
Definitely. When we sense some injury from others, we should keep away from them. So that is why the great masters have said, keep away from evil. That means what? We should never allow ourselves to be injured by anybody. That is, injury means not the physical injury, the psychic injury that may be caused by others. So we should never entertain, or we should entertain such feelings, such persons or feelings or events, and then we move on in life very easily.
So, friends, thank you very much for giving us this opportunity to enlighten you on this great subject of exteriorization of thoughts. There are many more things which have been told by Percival, but I would request you all to read the book word to word so that you understand them fully. Since, due to paucity of time, we can't read the entire book, but we only read the important portions of the book and offer the comments that could make you understand it better. So, bye for now. Thank you from myself and Girija and Purnima. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.